Okay, good morning everybody, welcome. This is a sort of a strange video blog that I'm going to do, in the sense of my throat's a bit croaky, not exactly feeling tip top at the minute, but I did promise people that I was going to do one, so do one I will. Just keeping an eye out the window because as usual at Christmas time, hence the lovely jumper. Hope you guys like it. The greatest snowman. Yeah, that's what it says. And there's my lovely Teddy in the background with my lovely Christmas t-shirt as well. So I'm watching out the window because I've got stuff arriving, so I'm going to get this one done. Now, this is a blog, a Sunderland blog, and there's loads, so much going on, it's unreal. And you can probably see Bobby there in the background just moving and shaking. Ain't you, son? Yes, moving and shaking. Right, so yeah, so there's loads going on, there's absolutely loads to talk about. First of all, I'm going to take it back for about 4 to 6 weeks. Form has been in and out a bit recently, so we have been going through a kind of a transition, if you like, with the team, in respect of, you know, people coming in and injuries and all the rest of it, change of manager, as it's going, you know, I'm going to talk about in the video. So there's so much to get done. I will go from start to finish now. So, excuse me, as what happens live sometimes when you're doing a video, I will just be 1 second. Bloody typical. Video comes on at roughly 11 o'clock every day, which I totally forgot about. The wonders of live recording. So anyway, so yes, go back to 6 weeks ago, roughly. Now we were in a good vein of form at the very beginning of the season, playing some absolutely wonderful football, and basically we were taking teams to the sword, scoring 2, 3, 4 goals on average, about 2 or 3 a game. And I knew we wouldn't keep that going. I knew there'd be a little blip in the road. But I was very disappointed at some of the performances. Away to Plymouth immediately springs to mind. At home to Huddersfield definitely springs to mind. Those two games that I really thought we should have won, and a couple of others in between there that the names of the teams escapes me at the minute. It's been very in and out the last 4 to 6 weeks. Some would say more out than in, but we have maintained a position where we're in the top 6, and albeit on goal difference, so it's at a point, we're either a point ahead or goal difference 1 to 2. It's very tight. I mean, there's basically teams there now who are sort of 2, 3, 4 points behind us, and they could just put a run together, you know, and try and challenge us for that spot. We getting back, as Madonna would say, into the groove. We have started winning games again. I mean, that win against Leeds and the win against West Brom, those two there, those victories, I didn't expect 2 wins there. I was hoping beat West Brom, but I thought we'd get a draw with Leeds at best. But the lads have come out, and like I said, after the bump in the road that we had, the couple of bad results, 2 or 3 games where I felt that we didn't threaten the opposition goal enough, and now we're starting to look like we're trying to do that a bit more. So yeah, I mean, the game against Huddersfield at home, that was really bad, you know. It was one of the worst performances, well, it probably is the worst performance I've seen this season, as far as like goal threat is, you know, concerned. That we didn't get the ball quick enough forward, we were laboured in possession sometimes, and maybe it's tiredness, I don't know, maybe it's kicked in a bit. And little did I know that would be very much, pretty much Tony Mowbray's last couple of games with us. Tony Mowbray, so a manager who, granted, I would not have picked to have us as manager in the first place, but he did do a really good job. And I thought overall his tactical awareness was pretty good, for most games. The way he was bringing players through, the youngsters. But if you listen closely to some of his interviews he was doing, he was kind of giving things away about 3, 4, 5 weeks before he actually left, because he was seeing bits and pieces in interviews, such as like youth, we've got a very young team and all that, but it's not going to get us to where we need to be. I need a striker, a proper renowned striker, experienced players, maybe there's a couple of them in the team. And he was more or less saying words to that effect in his interviews, but he probably felt he couldn't say too much. He had to keep that under his hat. And he was having to go with the youth all the time. And youth is great for pace, for energy, they've got no fear. However, on the flip side of that, they do sometimes give the ball away a bit cheaply and make the wrong decision, like going in front of goal and stuff. But all that comes with time. And as time goes on, these players will get better and better. Not all of them, but most of them. I mean, I particularly like Pierre Ekwa and I like Bar. I think they offer a canny bit in the midfield areas. Pritchard now. You talk about youngsters, Pritchard ain't a youngster, but I tell you what he is. He's an essential part of the team for me. He is one of the players that he makes them tick. He creates in the midfield, he gets us forward, and I keep looking out the window because I am, like I said, expecting things coming. But he makes us tick, he gets us forward, and he gives a bit of energy to the side, and a bit of experience, a lot of experience, and he's one of those players that can just gel the whole thing together. When you've got your Roberts, who's in and out, a bit in and out of form. Patrick Roberts, when he's on fire, when he's on a going day, he's really good. He can help. Like, he's on one wing and Jack Clark's on the other. Jack Clark tends to be very much on the ball every game. However, Jack Clark, the only thing I would say about him is he's bombing forward, he'll beat the defender, he'll go around this way and beat the defender, and then he decide to come back again and try and beat him again and go the other way. Once you've beaten your defender, you've got the goal at this side there, or that side, whichever side you're on. But once you've beaten your man, put the ball in the box. We should try and keep the defences off guard. Don't let the defences have time to get settled, to get organised, and just put that ball in the box. That's the only thing I'll say about Jack Clark. He tries to take people on too many times. So going through the side at the back, Dan Ballard is like a man mountain. He's an integral part of the defence, and Trey Hume, and then you've got Huggins at the other side, left back and right back. They're brilliant, them three. Not totally convinced about Luke O'Nien as a defender, I have to say. I think definitely we should be putting either Jensen Sealt in there or someone else as a defender, and have Luke O'Nien sit in front of those back four. So I would effectively do a 4-1 and whatever, like a 3-2 or a whatever after that. But that's the backbone. That's what I would have. Pato in goal, Trey Hume, Niall Huggins, Sealt and Dan Ballard, with Luke O'Nien just sitting in front of those, and then bring in a mixture of, you can swap and interchange people such as your Barr and your Ekwa and Roberts and all that. You can jiggle about a bit and get the midfield set up. But we definitely we've got 4 strikers, and none of them yet have shown the full capabilities. And we need to either get one of them on the pitch constantly, give them a good run of games, 4, 5, 6 games, where they can show what they do or try to show what they do. And if that's not working, bring another one in, or what you can do is have two up front. I don't think he'll go for that, but you could have two up front in some games and then get them used to like playing with each other, you know, like working alongside each other. So overall, I think the form of the last 6-7 games, like I say, has been in and out with a couple of disappointing games, 2 or 3 of them, where I thought we should have done better. But we did get 6 points at West Brom and Leeds. So that is a bonus in that respect. So on to today's game, Bristol City. Now, although immediately you say to yourself, Bristol City away should be an easier game, there is no easy games in the Championship. Let's get that straight. However, these are the games that on the back of West Brom and Leeds, once you know you've got them results against them, confidence should be sky high. The lads should be in a real good, you know, frame of mind. They should be going there pretty fresh. I mean, the game was Tuesday night, so they've had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, now today. So they should be going there pretty fresh. As long as we haven't got knocks or any injuries from the training ground or whatever on from the last match, we can go pretty much with the same team again. And hopefully, you know, put ourselves on the front foot and get against Bristol City, get up to them, you know, and get forward quick. Like I said about Jack Clark, he needs to, when he's going down the wing, when he takes his man on, beat the man, get the ball in, you know, as quick as you can, put it over. If there's another pass on to the end of the box, then do that and let's set people up. But Jack Clark's playing absolutely brilliant. Bellingham, Joby Bellingham, you know, and he has been pushed further up front since Mowbray was sacked, or Mowbray left, which way you want to believe the story went. So he's been pushed a bit further up front. So, and I think that's better. I think Bellingham should be at least just sitting behind the striker, you know, at the very least. He shouldn't be deeper in the midfield. He should be up there, you know, like a false number 9 or whatever it's called these days. So, like I said, so many things to talk about in this video, and I'm trying to get them all in. Got at least another 12 minutes maybe, so another, half of the video done. So, the performances in and out, but we have been pretty, like I say, steady the last 2 or 3 games, much better, getting the points on the board and keeping in touch with them bloody top 6. I think first 2 is gone, you know, I think first 2 is gone, but we can certainly be in that top 6, the top 4, sorry, after that. So you got your next, your 3, 4, 5 and 6. Finish in one of them spots and give ourselves a chance, like we had last season, of going up. And I think we shouldn't fear anybody in this league, because at the start of the season, like I said, we were pushing people aside. I mean, Leicester, Ipswich, all the teams that are up there, you know, and I'm trying to think of the other one that's up there fighting it out. You've got Leicester and Ipswich, and then there's another one. I can't remember the bloody name right now. But we have played really well against these teams. You know, we've shown that we can stand up to them and be a force against them. You know, I mean, West Brom there, they were a couple of places ahead of us, 2, 3 places ahead, and then we've beaten them. We've beaten Leeds, who are going, Leeds, that's the other team. Leeds are like on fire at the minute, so we've beaten them. So we can do it. We've got the ability to do it. We've just got to keep doing it, you know. Like Ipswich seem to be just knocking the results out of the park every week, you know. Leicester pretty much doing the same. And then you've got Leeds, you know, and Southampton, you know, they're up there, they're fighting. But I do think there's a couple of places in that top 6 whereby we can sort of make our stand, put our foot down, put our marker down, and we can be there as well. We've got no reason to fear them. Respect teams, but do not fear them. So, on to the managerial situation. Now, I read with a bit of concern yesterday, Mike Beale, no relation to Ian Beale from EastEnders, for God's sake. So, I mean, where did this come from? You know, this has been totally under the radar. People's been talking about Will Still. They've been talking about the other, I can't remember the name of the other guy, the one from Rhymes. So, where did this come from? I don't know. I mean, He managed Queen's Park Rangers and didn't really set the world alight there. He went to Rangers. I mean, fair enough. Rangers, a decent side, pretty much regular getting into Champions League, but they don't do much once they get the group stage going. You know, they're not like a formidable team. I mean, Scottish football is not as good. Probably our Championship's as good as their first, you know, their Premier Division. So, will he do a good job for us if he gets the job? It looks like it's going to be confirmed in the next, you know, few days. I don't know, the jury's out. He wouldn't have been my choice, but if he comes in, we get behind him, we support him the best way we can, we'll give him our backing. But like I say, he wouldn't have been my choice. There's other people I would have had before him. I mean, maybe it's even bloody Mike Dodds, and I never thought I'd say this, but we could have just kept him to the end of the season. You know, if things are going nicely. I mean, where we played against Leeds and West Brom, he had us set up pretty good for that. Yeah, so, but if he comes in, we get behind him and we support him, and there we go. So, the managerial situation for me, I hope they get it right. I hope they're not constantly looking for someone who's just like a yes man, and whatever they say, the players they bring in, he has to work with, because he's not a manager. He's not going to be a manager, Mike Beale. He's a head coach, which means basically the top brass, they pick the players, they bring them in, and let's face it, they have brought in some very good recruits, you know, but is this a constant thing all the time? I mean, I'm a bit of the old school where I think it should be a manager and he has a say in the players that are coming in, so he can manage them, so he's pretty confident that when he's brought them in, he'll have a good picture, a good idea of how he's going to work with them. He might have already worked with them, you know, some people he might have already worked with, and I think that's better. But looks like they're going with the model whereby they bring the people in and then they say to the head coach, right, there you go, there's these players, get on with it and do your best, and we'll be watching. And if you don't do your best, you'll be up the door. So, yeah, bit of a strange one. Mike Beale wouldn't have been my first choice, definitely not. Now then, them lot down the feckin' road. Here we go. So I'm going to say this once, and I'm only going to say it once, and that's it. I do believe they've made a mistake. 6,000 tickets to them lot. I would not have given them that. I would have given them 4.5 max, because it's going to be a nightmare. I mean, the North Stand, people's had to move, season ticket holders have had to move from the bottom part, because they're going to put the mags at the top and then at the bottom bit, so they're all in one area, which is, you know, which is decent, because it means the sons of bitches won't be spitting on us or pouring bloody pee down and all this stuff and throwing things down onto our supporters, which is absolutely bang out of order. Banter I get, that's one thing, right? You can have a little laugh with each other and all this stuff, but when you come to throwing things or pee and all this and pouring it down onto the supporters below, that is not banter. That is just hooliganism, and it's idiotic and it's stupid. So anyway, I've said my piece. I said I'll say it once and that's it. So they're coming to town on January the 6th. So I'm not going to the match. I'm just going to watch it on TV. So I'll see what happens. But for me, the most important thing is this season is to try and get up into the Premiership. That's our main aim. The FA Cup's really a game I'm personally believing to myself that really we could have done without, you know, all the furore that goes with it and all, you know, Derby Day. I mean, I like Derby Days, but I want us to grow as a team a bit more first before playing the likes of them lot. So, yeah. So, if we can grow this season for the rest of the season, because there's still more than half the games to go, and get a couple in January. Now, this is another thing I'm coming on to, the January transfer window. We need at least one really good, experienced striker, be it on loan or to buy him. And do not sell Clark. Now, I've heard it banded about that, you know, Burnley was in for him at the summer transfer window. But if we let the likes of Jack Clark go, or Patrick Roberts for that example as well, and Joby Bellingham, these players are our backbone of talent that we should be looking to to build the team for us, not for anybody else. Jack Clarke is a phenomenal player, and we keep him with us. He can build with us. And Joby Bellingham, Patrick Roberts, people like that. These are the players that we should be bringing through to make our team stronger, not to make other teams stronger. So keep him and bring in a really good striker if we can. I mean, the guy from Chelsea, you know, the one we've got on loan at the minute, he seems all right, but is he a prolific scorer for the chances that he's had? Which, fair enough, he hasn't had that many chances really, but he hasn't looked like a straightaway, you know, like hitting the ground running type of striker. He needs time to gel in and bed in. So the striker that I will go with today is Meander at Bristol City. He's got pace. Yes, he's youth and raw and all that. Like I've just said, we need an experienced one, but we ain't got one at the minute. So I would bring Meander in for today's game and let him get at them with Jack Clarke down one wing and Roberts down the other, and Pritchard, you know, and Pierre-Emerick and people like that to give him Bellingham, you know, support him. I would definitely go with Meander today, and I think he would do a really good job. Or the guy from Chelsea on loan. They're the two. I mean, I like Hemir, you know, I like him a lot, but a game against Huddersfield and when he was on the game before that hasn't really shown that he's clicked in yet. You know, he's going to need time to come through. And this season now, this is coming to the crunch point now, at Christmas. It's coming to the point where from now till say end of February, it's going to be a very, you know, a lot of games whereby we need to be sticking with the pack. We need to be up there in the top 6 and we need to stay with them, because we lose 2 or 3 games like it's proven. Just a few weeks ago we lost 2 or 3. We ended up dropping out of the top 6 and going down to say 9th and 10th. So we're looking to build this season and we'll need to get at least a top 6 spot, and I will be happy with that, and then we've got a chance of promotion. So the players, my team today, like I said at the back, Pato, Trey Hume, Huggins, Sealt and Dan Ballard, if all fit and available to play, that will be the back 5 there. With Luke O'Nien just sitting in front to make the 6. And then your midfield, you work out from that with your Clarke and your Roberts, Ekwa, you work out your people who you're going to have. So if we have one striker, that leaves 4 places in the mid. So you could do like a mid 4 where you would have Clarke, Roberts, you'd have Pritchard and maybe Barr or Ekwa, someone like that, you know, Joby Bellingham to sit just behind the striker. So yeah, you could go Jack Clarke, Roberts, Pritchard, and then you would have people to sit in there. So Dan Neil, you know, Dan Neil would be a perfect one. You could swap them around all the midfield, and that's the beauty of what we've got at the minute. We've got people who can do that. I mean, Ashish, you know, I call him Quiche. So you got him, you know. You like I said, you got Barr and Ekwa, and then you've got Dan Neil. You know, I mean, there's a good choice of people there if they're fit and available to play to do that. But I would definitely play Meander up front, and I would definitely have Bellingham just behind them to support. You know, when we go forward, we've got a bit of height up there. So I mean, Dan Ballard for me, he's been the best player so far, both at the back and then even going forward, because he gives that height. You know, we get corners, free kicks and crosses coming in. He can get up there and help. The only thing with that is he has to get back pretty quick as well to support the defence. But yes, so overall, the season I'm very happy with. Like I said, we had a little dip and there was 3 or 4 performances there that was under what we are capable of doing, and we've got back to a better performance level now, so that's good. If we can keep that going today, Bristol City, I'm predicting a 2-0 win, and I'm thinking that Bellingham will score today. He's going to be my choice today. anytime goal scorer, and maybe Sunderland to win 2-0. So I think I'll go with that today. So safe journey down to all the supporters, all the lads and lasses who go down there to follow us. Because I know at this time of year, Christmas, it's a hectic time, and I really have a lot of respect for people who go out and support the lads and away trips and stuff. I mean, Bristol's quite a journey, so yeah. So good luck to them. Good luck to the lads today. Like I said, I'm going for Bellingham anytime goal scorer and 2-0. So that's my prediction. Now, one more thing I will say is the manager that comes in, Mike Beale, what I'm hoping is, if that's the case, he's going to come in and be the head coach, sorry, not manager. So if he comes in to do that, he needs the full backing of Kirill Dreyfus, Louis Dreyfus, it's a mouthful, isn't it? And then Christian Speakman. He needs the backing of the lot up the top, and he needs them need to gel together, have a proper conversation about how things are going to work. And I hope, for his sake, keep your fingers crossed, that he hits the ground running. Like I said, he's not someone who I would have brought in, but he's going to be there, so we get behind him, we give him 100% support, and we get behind him, and hopefully the lads will do the business today, and 3 more points on the board. So, and then next week, 23rd, home game against Coventry, which I'm going to. Fantastic, look forward to that. And I think Mr. Beale will be in charge then. He will be the head coach then. So we'll see what he brings to the table. So thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'll keep posting it out there, telling people I'm doing one. Les and everybody else who loves my videos, loves watching me, everybody who watches them on a constant basis, thank you to everybody who does that and supports me and gets behind us. Music front, this video is all about football mainly, so I won't say anything on the music front. I will do another music blog tomorrow for the music, so keep an eye out for that one. Loads going on with the music, loads, and it's all good. So yeah, so how are the lads? 2-0 today, and Bellingham to score anytime. Get your money on. You heard it first here. And seriously, on a serious note, if you're going Christmas shopping today or through next week, just don't get stressed. Have a nice couple of beers before you go. Get yourself all, sorted out and revved up. Hit them streets, and then hit the bars, and enjoy yourselves. And have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. I love the support and I appreciate the support. I always do. Thank you very much, and I will do another one tomorrow for music. Take care.